Good evening and welcome to episode 29 of Swiss Army Sports. Today is December 9th in the Big 25. I'm your host, Will Spain, former long snapper for the Detroit Trojans, Ospey Governors, and partially Houston Kickers. Joined by my side at the table for the first time in a while, aka like a week and a half, the producer, local frat boy from Mississippi State, Michael Spain, and by my side, former offensive lineman, Henry's College Warriors, Luke Wallman. And joining virtually is our fourth man, but really the third man. Michael make the fourth. Case Cross, former kicker for the Houston Christian Huskies and Troy Trojans, current nephew of Troy men's basketball coach Scott Cross. Let's get into it, boys.
I'm so offended you did not say man of electricity.
Yeah, my bad. Luke is a man of electricity. Today's agenda, it's one of those weekends in college football. The Army-Navy game. We do have a bowl game this weekend between Washington and Boise State in the LA Bowl. But the Pick'ems is just the Army-Navy game, and because I'm already the punishment loser and Chase didn't count because he joined too late, we have a first-place tiebreak between the producer and Luke. And just in case they picked the same team, which I thought they would, there was a total point tiebreaker. Nope. You'll see that's not the case. We'll give our Army-Navy game players to watch for. Some bowl talk. We kind of highlight the games that I thought were the most intriguing matchups. Full week of NFL slate picks for Week 15. NFL power rankings for pre-Week 15. Best NFL bets. Mount Rushmore of video games. It's going to be the league Mount Rushmore. College basketball picks of the week. Champions League update. Headlined by Chase. World Dart Championship picks and preview. It is that time of year, Dart fans. The Super Bowl of darts, the World Dart Championship, goes from tomorrow, December 11th, till January 3rd. Electric. NBA Cup look-in and championship picks, even though we're a little bit late on that. A little stick and puck talk, look at the standings, talk a little bit about the hockey teams and who's hot and who's not. Let's get into the Army-Navy game. Person using the slides.
Oh, he's on point here.
Yeah, you can tell it hit me this time. It's the producer. Army-Navy game. Between Army and Navy. So there's only one pick, guys. I went with Army here, strictly because my grandfather served in the Army. So, Army. Really, I think Navy's going to win. But I'm picking Army. Luke, you went with me.
I went with myself. You.
No, I did.
I went with Army because I hate Navy. I like Army. I mess with Army. We know someone who plays on Army. I followed the Army Barstool account ever since I got an Instagram. So every year I root for Army. And if this game's going to be messy, I mean, the best team really doesn't win all that much. We saw that last year and then a few years ago when Army was awful and they beat Navy. So I think Army's got a fighting chance. It's going to be a nasty game. So I like Army to get it done.
Hell yeah. Michael, then Chase. Y'all went with Navy. Oh, and Luke's total points was 33. Completely does not matter. They changed.
Oh, yeah.
Or, yeah, different teams. But anyway. Michael.
Yeah, riding with the heavy favorites here. Is Navy still ranked? Do we know if they're still ranked in the AP?
They're not in the CFP. They are, believe in the AP.
Okay. Well, I'm going with the ranked team here. I think it's not going to be a dominant win because it never is. And I haven't looked at the weather, but it's probably going to be snowing. I saw that there's a lot of snow for the Sunday games and NFL games. So I'm expecting a very classic Army-Navy game, but I expect a stronger team to pull out.
Chase.
I'm on the same line of thinking. I think Navy's, it's Army-Navy always is. It's always going to be interesting. You know what I mean? So you never know who's going to win. It's one of those rivalry games, one of those historic rivalries that even though if you might have a bad season, you can still figure out a way to pull out, a crazy upset or something like that. So, I went with Navy because they're the safer bet, but I wouldn't be surprised if Army won this one either.
Yeah, it's just one of those games. Kind of a toss-up. Could go either way. A lot on the line for both these schools. Some players we're going to look out for on this Army-Navy game. I know I picked Army, but my player to look out for is from Navy. Eli Heidenreich, I don't think gets enough credit. He has 700 more receiving yards than the second place total yards on Navy. Chase, the background noise is very evident. Yeah, so, I mean, if you have 700 more receiving yards than your second highest receiver, break out in this game. So, Eli Heidenreich, which, Reich being like, controversial, controversial in the Army name game. He's gonna break out. Luke, who'd you go with?
I went with their leading passer and rusher, Mr. Cade Helms. Quarterback's got to play well in this game. He's their leading passer and rusher. So, yeah, they got to play well.
Jace.
I'm well with the quarterback, Blake Horvath. I think he's going to have a good game, like Luke said. Quarterbacks have to play well to win this game. And Eli Heinrich, obviously he's going to get the ball on the ground some, but quarterback's got to get him the ball through the air too.
Fair enough. Those are Army-Navy game players to watch for. Top bowl games to watch. I think there's some really, and for all the attacking that is going on for like bowl season, saying the bowl season's broken, I don't think this year's the year to have that argument. I think we have some great matchups. Not too many opt-outs so far as players and teams that are playing.
Yeah.
So, we have some exciting football games coming, and I think it kicks off this Saturday. Boise State, Washington should be an absolute banger of a game in SoFi Stadium for the LA Bowl. I'm not going to – no picks, guys. I'm just talking matchups here. Boise State just won the Mountain West, and this is a Washington team that was very competitive in the Big Ten and kind of posed a threat to those Big Ten frontrunners. I think this is going to be a very exciting game to watch. Interject at any time if you all have any thoughts on the games. Moving to the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Now, I'm not just picking this because it's Troy. This is a very big rivalry game in the state of Alabama for these two G5 schools that dated back all the way to their FCS and I believe even their D2 days. So this is the first time these two teams have played in a while. And each saying is it's whoop, W-H-U-P, Jack State, and then whoop. I'm not going to say the other one because F Jack State. But I think, and with it being in Montgomery, this should be a pretty good crowd. The only downside is on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. That could be a little bit of a detrimental factor for the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Yeah. I think Troy deserved a better bowl game, but I am glad that if they're going to get stuck in the Crampton Bowl, which is one of the worst stadiums that you can get for a bowl game, that it is against Jacksonville State, and there's a lot of heart that's going to be going into this matchup. The Cure Bowl is also an awesome G5 matchup.
Is the quarterback playing for Old Dominion, or is he just completely done?
I have not heard reports of either.
Pretty sure he's transferring.
As I did visit. Yeah, I know he's transferring. I don't know if he's not allowed to play in the bowl game or not.
I think he's done.
Okay. Chase said he thinks he's done. So I'm going to go with Chase. Their backup is good. I watched them in practice when I went and visited ODU during the transfer portal. They were actually like in somewhat of a quarterback competition at the time. And then USF is USF. And the game is in Orlando, not a far drive for Tampa. And Old Dominion fans are probably just excited to be in a bowl of this caliber. This is a pretty big bowl for Sunbelt teams in the Cure Bowl. So I think ODU USF will be a very fun matchup. And not to mention, there's a lot more prolific, playmakers on Old Dominion side rather than their quarterback. Yeah. The Sporilla Bowl piques my interest a little bit just because from inside source, no opt-outs on the side of Memphis, which is big for the Tigers.
Yeah. And NC State's got a good quarterback.
Yes, they do.
I've watched them on multiple occasions.
NC State beat Georgia Tech.
I think NC State rolls Memphis.
They're a good football team.
Yeah, that's a good point. NC State beat Georgia Tech. Memphis, their best win on the year is USF, or arguably conference runner-up Troy. I had someone argue with me. It was Arkansas. I had to remind them Arkansas went
still an SEC team though.
Also, somehow had a plus point differential on the year, which is insane.
There's a lot of close games for Arkansas. They
greatest 2-10 team of
all time. I think it's gonna be a banger of a matchup. I do think NC State kind of rolls Memphis, just to give a little bit of a tip to my picks here, because we're not revealing our bowl picks until Sunday.
Anybody here?
I just had to throw that in.
D1 hater.
Another elite G5 matchup is the New Orleans Bowl. Southern Miss and Western Kentucky. are two very good G5 teams. No opt-outs hurt on either.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, no opt-outs hurt on either so far.
Hey,
Hump will not be
hey,
coaching
Luke.
this game.
Luke, I wonder if Will's a G5 product. Can't tell her. Nah, by what bowl games he's picked so far.
Okay, I threw some power. But Eastern Kentucky, top,
Almost beat LSU.
almost beat LSU, finished third in CUSA. Southern Miss finished third in the Sun Belt. So, I mean, and with it's an elite site being in New Orleans. It's a pretty big bowl game for both the Conference USA and the Sun Belt. So I expect a good matchup there. The Hawaii Bowl is electric this year. You've got Cal, who has been, spoiler, all year, beat Louisville to effectively knock them out of playoff contention. The Hawaii Bowl is a very exciting matchup this year. Cal's quarterback is staying. They've been playing spoiler all year, beat Louisville on the road. Now you have the toughest road trip in FBS football going to Hawaii for the Hawaii Bowl. And not just that, you're staying there for a week. That comes with a different set of problems, okay? First-hand experience from Evan Crenshaw, who was punting at Troy. He went to the Hawaii Bowl at Coastal Carolina. It comes with a completely different set of problems if you were there for a week. So,
and I think the Cal quarterback's got some Hawaii roots with that last name. So, I mean,
maybe
some family will turn out,
Yeah, I mean, that is a hell of a generalization to throw out there. But yeah, I know. I'm very excited for this game, especially the fact that it's at night on Christmas Eve makes it so much more elite. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl is another game that really piques my interest. This is a New Mexico team who went 9-3. Granted, the Mountain West, but the Mountain West ain't, the CUSA. So, and this is a Minnesota team that's kind of lackluster. So this could be a huge step in the, footing of the program for Coach Eck at New Mexico to get a Power 4 victory in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl would be huge for New Mexico in recruiting, et cetera, going forward. Now let's get into the Power Conference Bowl. That really piqued my interest.
Hilarious thing of all time. You showed me this preseason. I playoff, maybe championship, but my God.
I just lost Chase. The Pinstripe Bowl between Clemson and Penn State. Now, this is a matchup we saw happening in the preseason. This is not the bowl game we anticipated we seeing these two teams in. I expect a banger of a game. I think Clay Klubnik has a lot to play for Clemson. I think this Clemson team is basically fighting for their dignity in this game. And I think this is a Penn State team that has nothing to lose. So it is a very intriguing matchup for me. And this Penn State team has arguably gotten better since Drew Aller got hurt. It should be a very fun matchup up there in Yankee Stadium. My favorite bowl game is the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Georgia Tech versus BYU. BYU, the runner-up in the Big 12, way better than any team out of Austin, Texas, going against Georgia Tech out of Atlanta, Georgia.
First, I'm not going to get rage baited here. I just want to say one thing. BYU got smacked twice by Tech. No shot.
Tech would smack
It's Big
Texas.
12. There's levels to the SEC and Big 12.
They absolutely would.
And we won it. We won it and left.
Don't give the levels talk. Don't give the levels talk.
There's lots of levels. There's
levels,
plenty of levels.
Texas
Texas Tech isn't even in the conversation with us or Texas A&M.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl. The Pop-Tarts Bowl is a very fun bowl game. They have live edible mascots. That is elite. So that's just basically what I'm excited about. Plus, it's an awesome matchup. Georgia Tech, Haynes King against BYU, Bear Bachmeier. It's the Stormin' Mormons versus the Nerds in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Very excited. I probably think so, too. The Slayer Gator Bowl, though, is another very fun bowl game. Mizzou against Virginia, two teams that were kind of pretty much ranked the entire year. Mizzou didn't really have a signature win, but they were
they just won.
Yeah, they just won, and they were competitive in a lot of very, close games with higher, very high ranked teams like Alabama, like Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And then Virginia, they can't beat Duke in the conference championship game, but maybe they could beat Mizzou in the Gator Bowl. I think this is a matchup I'm going to let Luke talk first and then Chase talk second. The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, which is where both of these teams belong. Texas plays Michigan. It is a very intriguing matchup, especially with all new recent developments we will get into in a little bit. surrounding the University of Michigan football program. Are there distractions for the Big Blue? And how do you feel going into this game, Luke?
Beforehand, I thought this might be like 60% Texas having a chance 40. Now I'm kind of leaning 70% Texas because I don't.
Biff Poggi.
I love Biff. I just don't know. It's going to be interesting because we're very young. So it's interesting. I don't think we'll have any opt-outs. I don't know Texas's situation with their opt-outs. Also, this is going to basically be your precursor for when we play next year in Austin. So we'll have played Texas 3 years in a row. I really do wish we would have gotten a different team just because we played Texas 3 years in a row. See some different stuff going on, but we'll see. I think it'll be a really good game. I mean, we showed out and beat Bama last year, so
Yeah.
there's no reason why we can't show out and beat Texas.
100%. And I think y'all are a much better football program and team than
All
Texas.
right.
Chase, how do you feel about the Citrus
Okay.
Bowl?
We're not.
Which is
even
where
gonna
you
get to
belong.
that. We do have some opt-outs like Anthony Hill, but he didn't play against Texas A&M, so I don't think that's really going to be too much cause for concern. I think maybe Quintravion Wisner, the running back, opts out, which would definitely hurt. And then like guys like CJ Baxter and some other guys are transferring. So yeah, it's going to be a different Texas team. Yeah, it's going to be a different.
Transfer out too.
Yeah, I saw.
It's going to be a different Texas team, no question. So I do think this is going to be a competitive game. However, I think I saw something where Texas played, I think it was actually in the Citrus Bowl too. It was before, I think it was the Colt McCoy national title. They played Michigan in the Citrus Bowl or something the year before, and the next year won the Natty. So I'm just going to put that out there. When there's delusion, there's hope. So,
bring up.
I mean,
Well,
We agree. I like that quote.
correlations
I like that quote.
Our correlation before the season, it's a little off topic, but every year Ohio State has won the national championship. The next year, the Panthers went to the Super Bowl.
there's a shot.
Go Panthers.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I'm pretty sure there's also something with like, was it J-Lo divorces or something?
Something like that.
Something like that went with that. And then the ReliaQuest Bowl. The only reason I put this on there is because Vanderbilt's in it. Diego Pavia, the Heisman, is going to roll that Iowa defense. Again, Iowa's a good team, so I'm actually really excited for this game.
The style clashing is going to be very interesting in this game.
Yes, it is.
So
Vandy, spread option, moves fast. Defense moves fast. Iowa. So moving on to our next topic, to anyone operating our slides.
Yes.
Okay.
I can
So
already
this is
see
where
these two are.
the producer is going to take over.
You don't want to do this one, or do? All right,
I
I'm going to take over here. We have 3 slides of blind comparisons for quarterbacks this year in college football. Just you get to read them through or whatever, and decide who would you rather have, I guess, as your starting quarterback, or I guess who would you say the better quarterback is this year? Does anyone want to go first?
We'll go.
I'll go last.
We'll go Chase, me, Luke, just because we'll let the virtual guy go first.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chase, do you see the 2 comparisons? All right. Just give me your thought
Well, I actually
processes
think I
on
know
them,
who
and then
both
give
these
me a
are. I think
decision.
the left is Diego Pavia, and then the right is Fernando Mendoza. Based off the stats, I've seen this comparison all over Twitter. Obviously the rushing yard sticks out for Pavia, but I think if you look at just pure quarterback play, I think Fernando Mendoza probably has been the better quarterback. If you look at how early he's been pulled out of games and stuff like that, I think Mendoza probably has put better quarterback play on film, and he has less turnovers. So I think I'd give it to QB2 here.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Shocker.
QB1. And I also think this is, well, I mean, I'm going to tell you why. Obviously they spent Pavia versus Mendoza, which makes me think, all right, well, QB1 has 200 more passing yards. They have a relatively similar completion rate. QB2 has thrown 6 more touchdown passes, but QB1 has rushed for 3 more. 2 more interceptions for QB1 over QB2, but 600 more rushing yards for QB1 over QB2. Kind of gives a dual threat, prolific offense kind of look. And not to mention, if those are the 2 quarterbacks, completely different competition levels you're doing this against. The SEC is way harder to play against than the majority of the Big Ten, other than Ohio State and Oregon. Top to bottom, I mean, we were just talking about Arkansas being the best 2-10 team of all time. top to bottom, the SEC wipes the floor with the Big Ten. So if you're putting up these stats, which I mean, I think arguably on paper, I think before even Chase brought up that comparison, made me think about guessing who these quarterbacks are because there's no fun in doing that. Then I liked QB1 better anyway, just because when you have a quarterback that throws for 3,100 yards, also rushes for 826, that gives such a more dynamic look to your offense than just a guy that kind of sits back in the pocket and throws the ball. I mean, I think that's more early 2000s football. We're in 2025. Give me QB1.
See, stat-wise, since I obviously looking at this, I've seen this comparison all over Twitter, like Chase said. Stat-wise, I'd probably lean a little more Pavia, but when you take in the context, I get the Big Ten's weaker, but when half of the games Mendoza's playing, he's getting pulled in the second, like at the second half. That's insane that he's still got the relative numbers that Pavia has, in my opinion. Like, I think getting pulled, he got pulled the last 3 games of the year at halftime. And he's still up there with the sets. He's still got the most passing touchdowns out of all these quarterbacks in the Heisman race. I'd rather Mendoza. Stat-wise, just because he's played obviously a lot more time, it's going to obviously be Pavia. But that's kind of my take. It kind of sucks that Mendoza, because if he plays the full time this year, the Heisman race, I don't think it's really even close because he puts up like way more touchdowns, stuff like that. Just the fact that Indiana beat the crap out of everybody.
You're playing Maryland, and
No, I know.
I think there's, like Chase said, there's levels to this shit.
All right. Y'all kind of nailed it on this one. I will say though, the next two,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
this is the only
are
comparison
going to
I've
be
ever
harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, QB2, we got Mendoza, and QB1, we got Pavia.
So we got the Heisman
I
winner
think
QB1,
it's flipped, but they're
and the
1 and
runner-up at
2
QB2.
easily.
Yeah, so these are the 2 front runners for the Heisman. All right, Chase, here's the second slide. You go.
Looking at this right here, both have the same amount of picks. I'd say, what's up, man?
Chase, can I interrupt you for a second? Michael, can you put it in slideshow mode until you reveal? Yeah,
All
it
right.
just makes it
Sounds good.
more easy to read.
All right,
There
so
you go.
looking at these two, obviously same amount of turnovers. QB1 has a little bit more yards on the ground. QB2 has more passing yards, but QB2 has a significantly lower completions percentage, but has 3 more touchdowns. Honestly, I'll probably have to go with QB1 here just off of efficiency. And those 8 touchdowns on the ground, I think QB1 does have more touchdowns. So the more you put the ball in the end zone, I think that provides more value to you as a player. So I'm going to go with QB1 here. And I honestly have no idea who either one of these quarterbacks is.
I was about to say,
I don't have.
before I'll let y'all all talk, and then y'all can go around and maybe if y'all have any guesses, throw them out.
Yeah, I have no clue who these 2 quarterbacks are, and I'm on 100% the same page as Chase here. I mean, you've got 6% more completion percentage, which I guess if you look at that, if you're like a layman, oh, that's not a lot. No, that is, I mean, that's a huge difference in college football. Not only did the passing yards for QB2 stick out to me, yes, 600 more. And then I told y'all, I like a dual threat quarterback. It seems like QB2 has the absolute inability to run, like Ben Roethlisberger. 6 more rushing touchdowns also for QB1. So QB2 obviously only was QB sneaking like a tush put. Call him Jalen Hurts. 5 interceptions for both teams, quarterbacks, whatever. And, if you combine the both, 31 touchdowns for QB1, 28 for QB2. He's more efficient on passing. Granted, the passing yards concerns me. Could technically be a check down merchant who could also scramble. However, I think in the long run, scoring matters. Not only does scoring matter, being able to get out of the pocket matters. And 98 rushing yards through 12 games is alarmingly low. You're essentially just scrambling and rushing probably once a game to get a first down late in the game, looking like Phillip Rivers this weekend for the Seahawks. I'm going to take QB1.
See, I think the only thing that's, for me, when I look at a QB, I look at touchdowns. I think you have to have touchdowns as a quarterback. That is the only reason I am going to go with quarterback 1. I think quarterback 2, the pass yards is really good. The rush yards doesn't really faze me that much because you can have a really elite pocket passer, which this guy obviously is. But and who's to say this guy doesn't have an elite offensive line that he can just sit behind all game. So I'm so tough.
I think I know who these guys are.
I actually don't.
I have an idea too.
Because But the completion percentage does kind of sway me, so I'll roll with QB1.
Chase,
For,
who do you think they
for
are?
QB2, I think it might be Dante. No, for QB1, actually QB2, I'm gonna go with Dante Moore. QB1 is a little tricky, obviously, off of the rush touchdowns, but I think it's Arch Manning.
I think I'm gonna go a completely different direction here, and I could be completely wrong. I think QB1 is Marshall Reed and QB2 is Ty Simpson.
All right, here's the reveal. QB2
Put that.
is Ty Simpson.
Okay.
Come on.
Marcel
think
Reed's
Marcel
completion
Reed's
percentage
one
is like
because the
60%.
Percentage is way
Yeah, it's
lower.
way lower.
Yeah, it's way lower.
Yeah, see, I told you I could be completely wrong, but I just thought that would be it.
And QB1, who I think is the most underrated quarterback in the country, is Gunnar Stockton.
Wow.
Dude. Okay, so I
I
mean,
didn't
I'm-
realize that.
yeah,
That's
wow.
impressive.
Okay.
Okay.
Jeez.
Gunnar Stockton's a dog. Hell yeah. Also, I mean,
What a
shout
pull,
out
Will.
me. I mean,
That was a good.
No, it was a good stuff.
hard. Kind of, the rushing yards. You said someone said good offensive line. I was like, man. Well, I mean, obviously this got to be a white boy. No offense. and two, I mean, who has a pretty good rushing game and a good offensive line? Bama, Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Well, Bama doesn't have a good rushing game, but they do have a good O line.
Also, just the lack of completion percentage made me think of Ty Simpson. But
The lack of completion percentage made me think of Marcel Reed, but that'll look at
the rushing yards threw you off. Yeah.
Marcel Reed.
Dude, they're fun.
On to the third and final round. Here we go.
Ooh.
My God, -2. It's Arch Manning.
Darn it.
Kidding.
Why is it not loading?
There's no way that guy is negative.
I promise you these stats are real. I promise you they're real. Chase, just whenever you get the chance.
Well, I
Who knows
actually do.
stats
I
so
think
much?
QB1 is Arch Manning. But no, I do think that
Hey, no,
just
yeah,
based
no,
off the stats, that looks very Arch Manning-esque with the completion percentage and touchdowns. Off this, 78% is really high, and those are a lot of passing yards and really a lot of passing touchdowns, to be quite frank. But I will say the added value with 8 rush touchdowns does make a difference. So I am leaning towards QB1 here, but that is a massive leap in completion percentage. Is QB2 Drew Mestamaker maybe? I'm not sure. We'll wait till the end.
We'll wait till the end.
I think
The
I know
reveal.
I think I know who QB.
Will, you roll.
I
Well,
think
at
QB1
first,
is Arch
Chase, who you
Manning. I
picking?
think QB2 is Drew Mestamaker. Oh,
No,
Oh,
who are you
man.
picking as your
Like,
quarterback? Who would you rather have?
this is
Yeah,
a tough
that's kind
one
of the
because
whole point of the game.
I mean, I do like the dual threat ability, but the completion percentage is so low. Almost at 80% is otherworldly, especially at that efficiency with the amount of yards. So I think I have to go QB2 here.
Okay, I'm on the same page as Chase there. I know I said I like a dual threat. However, I don't see 244 rushing yards as necessarily a dual threat. 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, with 35 total touchdowns when you include the passing. Less than 3,000 passing yards and damn near a 60% completion rate. I mean, that looks like freaking Ashton Struther at Christian Brothers High School, which is, I mean, a hell of a
What a
spray
shot.
to bring out there. If you know, you know. However, -2 rushing yards may mean your O-line just sucks. So, I mean, 6 interceptions, not too really alarming. 31 passing touchdowns, pretty great. No rushing touchdowns, very interesting. Didn't even have a QB sneak all year. However, if you're throwing damn near an 80% clip for 3,300 yards, I'm going to take you. I'm going to take QB2. Because here's the thing. That low of a completion percentage, I mean, if you're talking about being a coach, you're picking a quarterback out of these two, there's a lot of threat here for going 3 and out on multiple possessions if you're only completing 2 out of 3 passes over the course of a game. So I'm going to go QB2. And I'll give my guess when I was supposed to give my guess at the allotted time.
Okay. I know who QB2 is, and it really pains me, but that's why I'm not picking QB2. Just out of spite, I'm picking QB1. I don't care. I don't want QB2.
All right, Julian saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want QB2.
It's Dante Moore and Julian Salian saying.
QB1
I know my
is
quarterback.
Arch Manning.
Oh, what a
I know my
boss.
quarterback.
Dude,
Then-
holy shit. I'm so right about every assessment of Marsh Manning ever. He can't throw the ball.
And QB2, yes,
Yeah.
is Julian saying.
Not picking him.
When I looked up his stats and I saw -2 rushing yards, I thought it had to be a glitch or something, but it was on ESPN, which is insane.
Because he doesn't run the ball. Like, he never takes off at all.
Yeah,
Well,
100%
I mean,
over
it's
Arch
close
Manning.
though. I mean, off just
8 days out of
stats.
7.
Off just stats. I'm not saying this
What?
biasly.
No, hold on.
I said
Hold
I
on.
picked 2. I'm
You-
going with
you-
2. It
you-
is close.
you
Off
know
stats,
it's not
it is
close.
close. If you look at the stats there, I mean that's 35 touchdowns.
What am I looking at?
20.
And
You
he
just
didn't
played
play good
UTEP.
against UTEP. He didn't start playing good till the
Percentage
second half of the
drop.
season.
I mean,
The
brother,
percentage drop in the completion thing is what makes this not close.
it's not even close. You're
He's also
competing-
throwing to
completing passes at a
Jeremiah
60%
Smith
clip.
and
I'm
Carnell
pretty sure
Tate.
I could go play on Texas and complete passes on
Jeremiah
a 60%
Smith and
clip.
Carnell Tate are
I mean,
a lot different
it's-
than Parker Livingstone and Ryan Wingo. Way different.
Chase.
I mean, yeah.
Your sister could complete more than 60% of her passes to the Texas offense.
I'm not debating that.
Okay.
I didn't say I don't think he's an elite quarterback, and he at times this year was the reason Texas lost, but he was also good in some games. I mean, he played great in the second half against Texas A&M. The first half,
Yeah, but
the
what
second half.
he played great against A&M.
Chase,
he played great against Mississippi State, and then he played really good against Vandy, and he played okay against Oklahoma.
I mean, what he played great against Mississippi State. What in the second half? I mean, this dude literally
that's
plays
Arch
half a
Manning in a
football game.
nutshell.
Oh wait, so where's the comparison with Fernando Mendoza plays half a football game? What's the
Because he's actually playing the full game.
I mean, he's a second half player.
The problem is Arch Manning's not getting pulled.
I thought I was maybe going to get Will on this because when he saw the rushing yards. So I was kind of hoping that Chase wasn't going to say anything about Arch Manning just yet.
He
'cause
would've.
I think Will almost.
And when I
would've
said
fell
Arch
for it.
Manning, that was like a trigger word for him.
so funny?
Now, here's the thing. There's no chance in hell I want my quarterback to be throwing 60%. I mean, I genuinely think that may be at the same level as most of the high school quarterbacks I watched play this year.
I mean,
it's literally atrocious. I'm pretty sure, again, I could
I'm
go
not
out
making
there and complete
excuses.
60%
He was
of
an
my passes.
overrated prospect, though, coming out of high school. If you looked who he was playing in Louisiana
bum.
prep school football, I mean,
Go.
but I will say, if you put
Yeah, he's playing his
Marcel
same
Reed's stats
non-conference
next to
schedule in
Arch,
Texas.
Arches are way better than Marcel's. Marcel's in the Heisman race.
Oh my God.
I'm just
Oh
saying.
my God.
This is for the
No
Texas
one
A&M
freaking
people.
asked.
It's not for me. That's
All
for the
right,
Texas
moving on.
A&M people.
Really interested. No, I'm actually.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up.
I
No,
am
go,
gonna pull
go
it up.
back.
I'm
Go back.
genuinely interested.
Look up Marcel's.
He's on it. I'm going to read these out to you.
It's Marcel's are not good. Or not as good as you think.
Just stupid.
All right.
If you wanted to
I
fight
got
to
him.
break out, you would have put out Marcel Reed's next to Arch Manning's, and we would have seen what happened.
All right. I got him.
10 less passing yards.
He essentially
10 less passing
has the
yards.
same amount of passing yards, 2,932,
What's the completion percentage? It's definitely lower.
61.8.
0.4%.
Oh my God, it's higher.
All right. Read the picks.
It's still higher.
Point 0.4 is a huge number.
He has 25 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions, but he has 466
I mean,
rushing yards.
are they
and
not the
6
same?
touchdowns.
And that's number
So he
5 in the
has-
Heisman
I mean,
voting.
You want me to be
He's
humble?
31. He has 31 total touchdowns.
Yes, exactly my point.
I'd rather have Arch. I also,
Clip
I mean,
it.
it's Marcel Reed.
Clip it.
I hate A&M.
I mean, I think they're both just solid quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's go to the NFL.
But tell you what, man.
Gunnar Stockton.
Gunnar Stockton, baby.
You
Dude,
are
Gunnar
right.
Stockton's a dog. By the way, Chase wasn't here for this. Y'all clowned on me for my Georgia take at the beginning of the year. And saying
He's a
Gunnar
good
Stockton.
quarterback.
We'll own up to it.
Yeah, thank you.
will.
And I clowned on the Broncos, and I was completely wrong. So, no. Well, I didn't realize their schedule was that cake. I mean, Jesus
Dude, the whole
Christ.
AFC West is.
Thursday Night Football, the Falcons head to Tampa to play the Buccaneers. We're all for the Buccaneers. Obvious reasons there. And the Bucs have to win this game, plain and simple. I mean, they have to win this football game. If they don't, there are serious concerns with how the NFC South is going to shake up. As a Baker fan, I would be concerned. I'm going to let Chase just explain this, as we all reasonably took the Bears.
It's perfect
Is it
timing.
really
It's
perfect
also
timing in
gonna be
Chicago?
negative 20 degrees there. So I think
I'm not
yeah,
saying that. I
so
think it's going to
Shadur's
be a
ass is
running
gonna
football
freeze.
game, and I think Cleveland's defense makes a few stops. It's a perfect game for the Browns to win, and the Bears just had a heartbreaking
D
loss to the
tackles still out.
Packers. They're not going to show up this week.
Yeah, they're gonna take it
I
all out.
understand that. I'm not saying the Browns
lost
are a
to the
good
Titans
football
at home
team. I
last
don't
week,
think
right?
the Bears are as good as everybody's making them out to be right now. It's a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling.
Okay, gut feeling. I feel it. We all three on the Bengals at home, which I mean, I feel like we all think the Ravens may just suck, and I think Joe Burrow doesn't blow it again. Michael, I need to know why you like the Ravens here.
The Ravens just lost in the divisional matchup last week, so I don't think they do it again. Also, these NFC North games are 50-50, man.
Yes.
They
AFC.
AFC North, sorry. These AFC North games are bad, man. These teams are like the definition of mid, and one of them's going to be hosting a playoff game.
Yeah, which is criminal. We are split 50-50 on this game, so we can have a little bit of debate. I'll start with the away side first. Luke, then Michael. Why do you like the Chargers over the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'll go first. The Chargers are just them and the Broncos are like literally the same. They just find ways to win games. And I think Kansas City, they're just trending in the wrong direction. It's not the same team, which is weird because it is the same team, but it's
Bedard.
not.
Sorry, Bedard scored.
Sweet. But so Kansas City doesn't make sense to me this year. Obviously, they're pretty banged up on some positions, but so are the Chargers on the O-line. But I like Herbie, man. I like broken hand Herbie. He is that dude, and he just finds ways to win, and he's a dog.
Luke, why do you like the Chargers?
I'm kind of under the same thought process. I think the Chargers are finding ways to win and like tough ways to win. Your quarterback's got a broken wrist or whatever, just had surgery, and even though it's offhand, he's going out there and trying to stiff arm Zach Vaughn.
No.
So
Don't get me wrong. This pick is not anti-Herbert.
no,
I love Justin Herbert. Have his jersey. He is a dog. He is an absolute animal. I mean, yeah, continue.
and I think the Chiefs are just like Michael said, trending in the extreme wrong direction. I think Jesse Minter is going to have this defense ready to play, and they're going to at least pick Mahomes off once.
I'll go the new Chase, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be on the same thought process here. The Chiefs' backs are against the wall. They have to win this football game. It's at home. And honestly, I guess I said it wasn't really an anti-Herbert pick. It kind of is. The Eagles had, yes, 5 turnovers if you include the fumble and the interception in the same play, but really 4. Okay, they only won by 3. That's a major red flag, in my opinion. Like, you had the ball on plus side of the territory 3 different times, and one was in their own territory, but it was like at the 40. And you had to take this game to overtime. At home. It is a very alarming thing for me. I think the Chargers get steamrolled by the Cowboys next week. I think it is a very bad matchup for them. I think the Chiefs have to win. They know they have to win. And I love betting on a team that has to win. When you have to win, I mean, I've been in the locker room when you have to win. It's just a completely different mentality. You backs against the wall, you're gonna find a way to win this game. And I think they're just gonna find a way. Yes, aging talent, aging core. I don't think this is the Chiefs team as the last 9 years. Even close. Do I think the Chiefs make the playoffs? No. I think they give their fan base a little bit of hope this week with a big home win against
I'm
the
on
Chargers.
the same line of thinking,
Chase.
and the only reason I'm picking the Chiefs here is, it's a divisional matchup, and these are the 2 best teams in that have perennially been the 2 best teams in that division over the last 5 or so years. Obviously, now the Broncos are the best team in the AFC West, but these 2 teams I think are around the same level of talent, same caliber. I love Justin Herbert. I'm on the same line as y'all. I think Justin Herbert's a dog. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. But, Will, after watching that Eagles game, I mean, we're over here as Cowboys fans just praying that the Chargers get it done. And, when Jalen Hurts has, like we said, 5 turnovers, even though only 4 of them counted, you expect the Chargers to win big. They had to take that team to overtime and pray. And there was a point in the game where it looked like the Eagles were going to win. It was 16-13 at a point. And the Chargers had to kick a field to go to 8. And I don't either.
And I don't think
that's
this
a
Eagles team
massive
is
red
good at all.
flag. And I think Mahomes and the Chiefs, yeah, they haven't played good, but this Chargers defense is not as good as that Texans defense that gave them so much trouble last week. They're going to score the ball. And the Chargers were as healthy as they'll be for the rest of the season on offense, getting Marion Hampton back last week, I just don't see them beating the Chiefs here. I think the Chiefs roll pretty easy in this one.
I wholeheartedly disagree with roll easy.
I think it's 10 points.
I think they find a way to win. But, oh. Okay. Yeah, how much is it at? Okay. Are you good? Okay. I wanted you to participate in this one because we're split again. The Bills have a big divisional matchup on the road in Foxborough, Massachusetts, to play the Patriots. I'll let me and Luke start first here. And look, I think we're on the same page. One, I'm not really bought into this Bills team. Two, this Patriots team may just be built different with Daddy May. I mean, this team just knows how to win. They went on the road and beat Buffalo on the road. You're telling me they're not going to get the home win? I mean, and this team is just also not only just finding ways to win, I mean, they're just rolling. I mean, there hasn't been a team rolling like this, I think, this year in the NFL. Arguably the Broncos, but I think the Patriots, the Broncos have also had arguably kind of the same level of schedule, which is a little bit of a question mark for me, but I think they're able to get it done at home because home teams win.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of on the same mindset, but I am really worried about this Bills team. They showed out last week. They finally have looked like the Bills team from last year where you're scoring a bunch of points, getting crucial stops, and winning close games like that. It does worry me, but I do think the Patriots just get it done at home. I think Drake May is having a great year, you know. His wife's doing Bakemas. That's another reason.
Oh, come on. Miss May.
We
Make
need,
sure you feed my dad.
we need a Drake May voiceover in one of those videos. I would do unspeakable things with that.
Okay.
I mean,
Hey,
you know,
so you're going
you
with
guys
the
got me
Bills.
wanting to change my pick over here. Like, I mean, a Drake May and his wife Christmas. I mean, you know, that's gonna be hard. But no, I think that, like I've said before, it's hard to beat a good team twice. Now, I don't think the Bills are the team like are really a Super Bowl contending team this year. I'm kind of shocked, but Josh Allen just played one of his best games of the season last week to come back and beat a Bengals team that's rolling now with Joe Burrow back. And they got it done last week, and I think that they will ride off that momentum. This is a game that they're going to have to win because they still do have a pretty tough schedule coming up. And if you look at who the Patriots have played, they haven't really played a ton of comparable to the Bills. So I think Josh Allen has another big game. I think this is going to be another fun one like we saw with the Patriots and Bills. That was that week 5 or something, week 4. It was a great game. So, you know, I think the Bills get it done coming off that win against the Bengals last week.
100%. Producer dealing with some charging issues. Oh, he's back. Okay. Michael, why did the Bills get it done?
This is why the Bills get it done. First off, it is a snow game again. Josh Allen in the snow.
He is on crack.
He's elite in the snow.
Now, I'm going to argue with you. I don't think it was Josh Allen that popped off in this Bills-Bengals game. I think
What?
it's more Joe
Josh
Burrow
Allen had a
winning
great
it
game, though.
away in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he
You
didn't want-
look
he-
at
he-
Josh
he
Allen's
didn't look at
stats from the
stats.
game.
Josh Allen played one of his best games all season.
Brother, he had 70 fantasy points in our league.
I was just throwing some rage bait out there.
We're
no.
just throwing some BS out there. But
Nice cover up.
yeah, that was terrible.
Clip it.
Also, I think that like teams don't just
Cut
like
waters.
pretty much undefeated for like the whole year, and the Patriots are on like a 10-game winning streak. So I think it comes to an end here. I think these are 2 of the top 5 teams in the AFC, and I think the Bills just get the best of them.
Oh, my God.
And also, they I don't know who's playing, but also they already played one time this year, and the Patriots won. So I think it's a split. It's a split thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm not even going to spend time on the next matchup. Me and the producer went with the Commanders. Luke and Chase went with the Giants. Completely irrelevant to the NFL conversation this year. talk about this next one, what I'm laughing about. So I totally thought I was going to be the sole pick on the Raiders. I was running against the Eagles.
I know
Chasing
we're
with the
homing
Eagles.
as Cowboys
Tell me
fans.
why.
I would love for this to happen, but come on. This Raiders team is god awful. They have no chance of beating the Eagles. There's zero shot. I mean, the Eagles defense will shut down the Raiders enough for that terrible Eagles offense to score some points.
Luke, go ahead.
Kenny Two Glove Pickett. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, here
Throw
is
it back to the fake slide at Pitt. He's gonna run all over this Philly defense. Brock Bowers is gonna feast against Zach Bond. Ashton Genty is gonna run all over him. That's the only two guys I can name on their offense.
So here's the thing. I legitimately think the Raiders win this football game.
Okay, well,
One, no.
homing.
One, they have played the Broncos close twice now.
Their defense actually is.
Their defense is actually somewhat legit. And due to how anemic the Eagles' offense is, I think they have a legitimate chance. Max Crosby is going to expose these aging and now hurt and out tackles on the Eagles' offense. I think the sole reason I like the Raiders to win is because Geno Smith is not playing. I think Kenny Pickett is actually twice as good as Geno Smith is.
I respect that.
And not to mention, there are weapons on offense for the Raiders. The Eagles, not great against the run. Let Kamani Vidal and Amari and Hampton eat. If you let Ashton Genty eat in this game, Kenny Pickett throw a couple of touchdown passes to Brock Bowers, we have an upset in the making here. I think it's going to be a big fantasy week for Brock Bowers. I think, it's a 20-plus week. I don't think this Eagles team is good at all. I genuinely, not even homing, like the Raiders in this game. I think they match up well without Geno Smith. If Geno Smith plays, throw this all out the window. The Eagles will win by 70 because Geno Smith will throw 8 interceptions only to Cooper DeJean and Blankenship. Michael, why do you like the Raiders?
I just want the Eagles to lose. Let's be honest. And when I saw your head over there, I was like, yep.
Yeah. We're jumping on it.
Yeah, so that's what I was laughing about. Again, totally expected to slip to the slide and see my head only on the Raiders. And then I had 2 heads next to me, and I was like, let's go. Threesome on the Raiders. Jaguars, we're all on them over the Jets, all on the Texans, on the Cardinals, all the Rams against the Lions. We are split on these next 2 matchups I'm going to talk about. Kind of out of order here. I'm just kind of skipping over the ones we're, all in favor of. All the Niners on the Titans, all the Cowboys against the Vikings. And let's talk about these split matchups. Broncos, Packers in Denver. I want to hear from the away side first. Producer, then Chase. Why do y'all like the Pack on the road in Mile High?
I mean, the Broncos got to lose at some point to a good team, right? Like, this is actually the first decent team that they're playing. And, man, Green Bay is firing on all cylinders right now. They are playing the best football at the best time right now. They're getting players healthy, and they really haven't lost a step without Tucker Kraft, Christian Watson, Jalen Reed, all coming back and picking up slack. And, man, it's Toyota-thon. Come on.
I know.
Oh, my God, it's Toyota-thon.
I was the only thing.
Jay Love is just he's tearing apart defenses right now. And I will say, it was kind of funny talking about earlier in the year about how Micah Parsons hasn't been producing for the Packers. Man, he's in the prime form right now. He is wrecking defenses. And I think the Packers get it done at Mile High.
100% agree. I love your analysis and your pick, to be honest. I mean, like I said last week, Jordan Love and Toyota-thon. I mean, they beat the Lions, got a big win last week against the Bears. He's going to keep rolling and stack another big win against the Broncos. The Broncos have to lose at some point. They've played some really atrocious football down the stretch. So, you know what? I'm rolling with Jordan Love, and I think the Packers stay hot and get another big win.
For the first time this year, by the way, if you go back and check every single game, other than when the Broncos play the Raiders, I am riding with the Broncos.
So 8-2, 2-8 on picking Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a hate watch.
Beginning of the year, you were always going to change stuff.
It really hadn't changed unless I played the Raiders. I'm actually right with Denver here. One, home. 2, I am actually still not sold on this Packers team. They're just finding ways to win, which, I mean, credit to them. That's the name of the game. But so are the Broncos. And I think the Broncos defense is better than the Packers defense. I'm not going to go ahead and say that Bo Nix is better than Jordan Love because he's just not. And Bo Nix is a bottom tier quarterback in the NFL. And this Broncos team is very much limping into this game, barely winning football games. And, they really shouldn't win this game. But, fuck Green Bay, going with Denver.
Yeah, no, I'm rolling with Denver because altitude is going to pose a bit of a problem. I mean, you could say no, it didn't, but it always does for some of these guys. And I think Denver's just got the better defense. I think this is a very low-scoring game because obviously Packers are not going to be able to score as much on this Denver defense, and the Broncos just won't be able to score that much. So I think it's very low scoring.
I want to chime in on what you were saying about the Broncos. You and picking the Broncos is like me and the Colts. I did not pick the Colts, but like one time or two times in the first first games, and that was the game they lost. So,
due to time constraints for our own individual needs, I'm going to skim over the Saints Panthers. We're split on the Saints. Me and Chase on the Saints. The producer and Luke on the Panthers. I think Tyler Shaw keeps it rolling at home. They've already beaten Panthers once this year. Why can't they do it twice? The Steelers and the Dolphins are Monday night. I'll save that for last. I will just defend myself against y'all.
Phillip Rivers.
For this Colts.
Yeah, I'm interested. I want
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers is going to come out of the grave. He is 44 years old. He has been running this playbook with his high school. He has it memorized like the back of his hand. This dude has the Seahawks don't know what's coming. You think you have film on Phillip Rivers, but you really don't because that was Phillip Rivers 344 with a beer gut. Here's the thing.
So fat.
He is so fat. He is going to sling this ball. Jonathan Taylor rushes for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. 180. Who is Jonathan
Tampa has Jonathan Taylor.
Brock Bowers versus Jonathan Taylor is going to be a memorable fantasy matchup.
Last time me and Daniel played, Brock Bowers had 40.
Also, just a reminder, the Seahawks only scored one offensive touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings, who turned the ball over like 5 times.
Yeah, but y'all defense is good.
Yes, it is. Me and the producer on the Dolphins, Luke and Chase on the Steelers on Monday Night Football. And because of time constraints, I'm going to skim over this, but I think we both agreed that the Steelers just may not be good, and the Dolphins are kind of hot.
sell me as a good team. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you got to be closer to the mic on that, brother.
They just don't sell me as a good team.
No, they don't either. And the Dolphins are hot. So,
This is like,
2 sentences why you like the Steelers in this game.
well, y'all were saying earlier, y'all pick against a team. I always pick against the Dolphins. I don't. It's an alarming clip. I really never trust them because the Tua turned the ball over, and I think the Steelers are going to be able to eke one out here at home.
Well, to be
Chase.
honest, I mean, it's pretty simple. Aaron Rodgers is, I mean, he's a better quarterback than Tua, and Tua is going to turn the ball over. So I don't see the Dolphins winning this one. The Steelers' defense is solid. I mean, they're not a good football team, but they're solid. So,
The Dolphins? Yeah. And by the way,
I
the
know.
Dolphins are 5-1 in their last.
but
6
Mike
games.
Tomlin's going to end up
They're
9-8,
straight.
and this is
They
Mike Tomlin's going
could
to be
sneak
9-8.
into the playoff.
That is very true. Tomlin has to go 9-8.
That's how much he does.
It's a game he's got to win.
Our rankings. Quick. Guys, quick. We have a lot more to cover.
Yeah.
Rams, best team in the NFL. Patriots, 2, best team in the AFC. Seahawks, 3, they just haven't lost. 4, Jaguars, hottest team in the NFL. 5, Packers, they just somehow made their one there because I don't feel anyone else is qualified. Luke.
Pats, least losses. They've been winning a crap ton of games. Rams, probably best team in the NFL, but you did lose to the Panthers. Seattle, best defense in the NFL outside of probably the Broncos.
Vikings.
Packers, yeah, you beat the Bears. Broncos, you're mid, but you keep winning football
I
games.
think the Rams are
Chase.
easily the best team in football. Besides that one slip up to the Panthers. Pats, schedule's weak, still a really good football team. Have them up there. Seahawks, no reason to move them down. Packers have actually sneakily played some really good football over the last couple weeks. And then the Bills. I mean, I'm not putting the Broncos in there because I just don't like the Broncos. I think the Bills are a little bit better.
Yeah, me neither. I'm glad we have 2 haters on the same page. My best bets. I've got the Cowboys -6 against the Minnesota Vikings this week. Love my Vikes. Yeah, just not the week for them. The Cowboys, again, tough matchup for the boys, actually. Really good defense for Minnesota, but our offense is very prolific. I think it does matter if CD plays or not.
He's playing.
He's playing?
He practiced.
Practice today? Yeah, Cowboys outline it by 14.
Producer has
Thank you. Texans -9.5 against the Cardinals. This Texans defense is elite. Jaguars -11.5. The Jets suck. Colts +13.5. Line is way too big. Essentially all that. And Raiders money line, fuck it. +600, by the way, value play. Luke.
So I got the Bengals money line versus the Ravens, right? Hold on.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm lost. At the Bengals money line, I got the under in this Arizona Houston game. Houston's gone like under 30 points or 35 points combined in the last 4 games. I don't see why it doesn't go under again. I have the Bears -7.5 versus the Browns. You know, it's not perfect timing. Justin Jefferson's finally going to get in the end zone. He's going to boss on Deron Bland or something this weekend.
Rebel. It's going to be Rebel.
He's going to either literally put Deron Bland in the dirt or boss on someone. And then we're going with the Chargers money line.
Against the Chiefs.
Well,
Chase.
I think the Bucks Falcons is easily going to go over on I believe it's Thursday Night Football, and both these two teams they will score the ball against each other. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember last year they had a similar game in prime time where it was an absolute shootout between these two teams. It's actually supposed to be the Cardinals +9.5 against the Texans. Texans have won consistently close games. They're not really blowing teams out. The Cardinals will be able to score enough points to keep it close. I got the Bengals covering. I do think the Bengals end up winning against the Ravens, but I got them at least covering. And then I think Cleveland covers as well. Obviously I picked them, so I think that they'll beat the Bears, but I got them covering against the Bears. And then I think Denver could potentially cover as well. That line's a little too wide for my liking. So.
Right, moving on. We are in our Mount Rushmore of video games. Let me lay out the rules. You do not get to pick individual years of games for games like Madden, NHL, FIFA, whatever. You can for Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc.
You have to.
You do. But you can for Call of Duty, but not like you can't pick Madden 16 and Madden 18. Not how it's going to work. Franchises for sports, specifics for
Anything else.
everything else. So, Siri, we have 4 people this time. We're picking numbers between 1 and 20. Luke, you are first, of course. Then Chase, then Michael, then me, then Michael.
We're just 7.
He is consistent.
He stole my number. I guess I'm gonna have to take his. I'm gonna go with 3.
All right.
3. It's through 20.
Well, I think I'm obviously at a spot to pick like lucky number 13.
Okay, then I'll go 14.
You asswipe. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20.
It's gonna be a low number.
13. Are you serious?
First time we've gotten it on the dot. I am 13. That means Michael will be second pick at 14. Luke on third pick at 7. And last will be Chase Cross.
I can't wait.
Can go. I'm gonna make a
I
list.
can't wait to get flamed. Is this is games we personally like, or is this like games like that like we think is like all time?
It's like for it to,
Okay.
I would honestly like for this to be games we personally have played.
Okay.
I would like for you to have played the game. If
Okay.
you want to be trying to home with the viewers, I get it. But I would like for it to be a game you've actually I'm going to make it a requirement. You
Okay.
must have
That's-
played the game.
That's completely fair.
I have everyone at this table fronted on PlayStation. I can see if you've played the game or not. So, I'd like to be a game you've actually played. 1-1. This is actually way harder being.
I know.
I think this game is an all-time classic. It is timeless. it has got us through COVID, and I will get clowned on by a lot of people.
I don't think
But
so.
I think this video game meant more to me at that time than I think any other video game has. Fortnite will be my 1-1.
Great pick.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, that is a good pick.
Thank you. Michael,
right.
you're next.
My second pick, I think it's pretty easy here. I'm going to go Minecraft at the 1-2.
Great too.
Such a good game, timeless game. You can play it at any time. It's so good. That's my favorite. It's one of the top games.
Luke.
And based on how much fun I had playing these games, I'm gonna go with GTA 5. I was in middle school. I was on I played GTA 5 all the freaking time.
Not eligible for that pick?
Yeah, it was amazing. The story mode's good. All the heists are amazing. Like you're just blowing each other up and stuff. I mean, it did kind of get annoying when the oppressor would come in and just melt you. But hey, GTA 5 was all-time classic.
I'm going to go with
Case,
two
next
sports
year for you.
games. I'm going to start off with the one that just came back 2 years ago. NCAA football. I mean, we had so much fun in our childhoods playing this, and then the hype last year with it coming back was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to go with the most played game worldwide, FIFA. Everybody in the world plays this game. I mean, I think it is the most bought.
Okay, now hold on. I want a distinction here. This does not include FC.
Oh, okay. Then I'll take EAFC for the last 2 years then.
Okay. Yes, I am not including FIFA.
Actually, take FIFA.
Those are
Just
two
take FIFA. I'll
completely
take
different
FIFA
games, in
over
my
FC.
opinion.
Take FIFA. We'll go with FIFA.
Okay. I agree with the pick of FIFA over FC. I have purposely not bought
It's actually
FC
good
for that reason.
I
think
it's good.
Two
Either
completely different games. I know. It just FIFA did so well with incorporating every team in FIFA, and especially did so well at World Cup time. I'm so disappointed that fraction happened because I think a World Cup game would absolutely slap right now. Luke, second pick.
I'm gonna go with, I think, the greatest story game mode of all time, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think Arthur, Dutch, it is a great story game mode. I want to shout out ebook because I played probably a quarter of it, and then I got a PlayStation 5, I played a quarter of it, and I was playing online with my buddies, and I just kept getting hogtied and thrown off a bridge, so I quit. And he's like, "You've got to play the story. Play the story." Electric. It's an amazing story.
Michael.
I'm going to go with a super OG pick, and I'm going to go Wii Sports.
Oh, that's an elite pick. That's a top tier pick.
Probably the first video game
Yeah.
you've ever played, and it's perfect. It's a perfect game. So that's why it is an easy pick for me. So yeah, that's my second round pick.
Gonna slide.
100%. That is an elite pick. I'm gonna go. I've got back to back here. I'm gonna make the easy one, and I'm just gonna take Madden,
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
and then I'm gonna go a game we all loved. Rain in the Fire, Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
The one.
All right.
Michael.
Back to you, Mike.
I'm smoking y'all.
Oh
in
my
this.
god, this is
Third round. I'm
No.
going with
Come
Mario
on.
Kart. Such a good game.
Dude,
Such
he's
a
cooking.
boys
He
game.
is cooking. Cooking.
doesn't matter.
Always play it
I
anytime.
had to take BO6. I'm pretty sure I had over
Goat game.
300 hours on that game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was hoping you weren't going to take it, but yeah, I'm going with Mario Kart with my third round. It slid to me. Luke was going to pick it. I know he was. So
He's going in the vault right now.
I have to look. You literally just stole the two next games I was gonna pick that I had banked. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go with the timeless classic. I literally still, for reference, I play video games off and on. I play if I'm not playing college football or Battlefield with my buddy, I'm playing Lego games. So I'm gonna go with Lego Star Wars.
That's an elite pick. That's an
I
elite
have
pick.
played
That's an elite
that-
pick. That's an elite pick.
I have played that game so much. Now, do I have? Is that all in one, right?
Yeah, I'm letting you just take Lego Star Wars.
Okay. Well, there's three separate.
Yeah, I'm
games,
letting you
so-
take Lego.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Yes. All three games are elite. The original one's elite. Even the The Force Awakens one was really good, and the Lego Star Wars, the 3-1 or whatever, was good.
That is a top tier pick.
And then the latest one, I have almost beat it. I am like at 80% with all the Kyber bricks, so it is such a fun game.
Okay.
I'm actually going
Chaser,
to keep it
last
with
two picks.
Star Wars. I'm going to go with Star Wars Battlefront, one of the best games, phenomenal
Oh, it's an
game.
elite
If
pick.
you're
That's such a good
Yeah.
pick, too.
Wait. Do you play that game? Oh wow. We could have.
Let's bring it, bro. I
could have
love one of
squad.
my favorite games of all
yeah,
time.
continue.
Obviously being a big Star Wars fan, I absolutely love it. It's so much fun to play, and I mean, nobody plays it anymore, so it would be great to get a squad on there with you guys. And then I'm gonna go. I don't know how we've let it slip this far, but NBA 2K. Even though I know over the last couple of years,
Yep.
we all have beef with that game.
I have
Oh, but
broken
it's still
so
an
many
iconic
controllers
game.
over that.
Still a
video game.
classic. Yep.
It is.
When
I'm gonna get the
college
new one with the
basketball
college
comes, I'm
basketball
gonna have
game
to
in it,
buy
too.
that. So, yep, big time.
Memphis and Houston both in it. Well, no. NBA 2K26 has 16 teams in it. Memphis and Houston are both in it. Go Cougs, y'all Blue Cougar basketball. Luke, I'm interested to see where you go with this. I know where I'm going with mine, and I know none of y'all are going to take it. So
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to pick. I think I know what your pick's going to be. Hold on. I've been looking, and like it's all stuff that's already been chosen that I have not played. Let me just check. I got
there's two picks I can make.
I'm
There's
not
one that I could
signed in.
appeal to a certain audience with this.
Dude, I'm not signed into my PlayStation app. Hold on. Okay, no, screw it. We're just gonna go with another. And you know what? It's another Lego game because I've also played
Harry
this game.
Potter?
Yes, Lego Harry Potter. Lego Harry. I love the books. I'm literally gonna reread them at New Year's. You're gonna see me with the book open. It's gonna be
Hold on. The odds on that, I'm going to go with plus 1,000.
I've got all 7 books on my drive.
That's fine. Don't think you'll have the ability to read.
No, I read it on the way down there in the car. I've already read all 7 books. I've watched all the movies. I've watched them on the monthly. I'm so excited for the new series to come out. I've beaten that full game twice. I'm going for the 3rd time right now.
Luke, have you played
yeah,
the new Harry Potter game?
Michael, last pick.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's a-
Hogwarts
fun.
Legacy.
yes, it is.
I
also
agree.
fun.
I agree. The Lego one's a
love
little
that
bit
game
better,
too.
but yeah.
All right, for my last pick, Will said this about Fortnite and COVID, but what we played in COVID was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, which is
An elite
the
game.
first game that Verdansk was in.
Yeah.
And
Is that Modern Warfare 4?
I don't,
Yeah, I think so.
it's-
It's like 20.
people call it Modern Warfare 2019. It's the first game Verdansk was introduced.
It's Black Ops 4, excuse me.
It was peak.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was.
that was some fun times. Just doing 3v3s, just grinding gold weapons, Growl,
Yeah.
MP5, MP7.
Shout out Sam Wilson.
Shout
for
out Sam
the
Wilson.
3 shots. I
So good at Call of Duty.
bet him
But yeah.
$5 that he had 3 shots in his chamber that he would not kill all 3 of these enemies in 3 shots. 3 straight headshots with the Car 98K.
I need to get BO7 so bad. Y'all make me crave ranked. I'm between 2 games. Personally, I want to go NHL.
Yeah,
I love NHL. It's a great game. However, I thought of a better game that I have played, and I played pretty religiously for a while with my buddy Robbie. And this is a very popular worldwide game. Rainbow Six
Great
Siege is one of the most iconic. Rainbow Six Siege is kind of Rainbow Six Siege is kind of crazy. I got it with the last pick of the draft.
I hate that game.
It is very
Spicy.
anger inducing. However, very iconic in terms of, first person shooter games. The different roles kind of separate it from COD. Like, you have a specific role in your team. I enjoy the game. I kind of suck at it. I'm way better at COD than I am Rainbow Six Siege. But Rainbow Six Sieges for Sweats. I thought it was a fun game. It was fun to play when you had everybody there. Yes, I love NHL. That's my honorable mention for sure. But Rainbow Six Siege, Luke, I really hope you have a computer charger. You were on battery saver mode, bro. Oh,
I have an hour 7.
God, dude. Luke's got a super computer. My bad. Hey, my bad, twin. My bad, twin. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Small
We
shout
have
out.
so much more to cover. We're going to breeze through these college basketball picks. We're on Iowa State against Iowa. We're on UConn against Texas. Me and Luke are hoping on the Tigers, baby. It's- I guess as a future
USA.
yeah, as a future University of Memphis student, I had to start picking Memphis at some point. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Tigers against Louisville. I think the Tigers actually have kind of taken a step up and are on a different level that they haven't at the beginning of the year. And I think Louisville kind of showed the weakness against Arkansas. So I think Penny can exploit that. This is a huge rivalry game.
Rivalry, yeah.
This is a Metro Conference rivalry
Yeah.
game. It's a huge rivalry game. I think the Tigers get it done. Everybody's on Arkansas except me. I think Texas Tech gets it done just because not sold on Arkansas yet. We are split on Illinois, Nebraska. Me and the producer on Illinois.
Nebraska.
Oh, excuse me, I read that wrong. Luke's on Nebraska for whatever reason.
Their offense is very good. They can shoot the rock, and I think they're going to get a signature upset win. They've played some solid teams like the Kansas States, like just the middle of the road. Some of these conferences, I think they finally established them as
I
one of the
watched
upper echelon.
Illinois play. Illinois is legit.
We
Illinois
on Arizona. Yeah,
is
go
a
ahead.
team that can be a top 10 team
Oh,
by
they
the
are.
end of the season.
I
they
understand.
they have everything. They have a really good big. They have guards that can shoot it and score. Illinois is really freaking good and could make a run in March.
Oh, this is not me discrediting Illinois.
No, Luke's been big on Illinois.
Yeah, I love Illinois. This is me saying Nebraska is going to pull off just the random shocker that you drop at the beginning of the year.
Oh, we're
That's what I'm
on
saying.
Arizona. I think we all think they thrash Alabama. I think
They thrash
they thrash
just
them.
because of Alabama's ability to chunk the three.
Correct.
So,
I think this Arizona team is very scary.
yes.
I also think they're the team that's very scary right now that could get bounced in the second round of the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, another team I think is really scary is Gonzaga. I think that was a very fluke game against Michigan. Although, don't get me wrong, I think
Michigan, it's rolling.
they are wrong, but in the way the game went, I mean, Gonzaga couldn't buy a shot in the first half.
Defense, baby.
Yeah, whatever. They were missing wide open shots. They were breaking them.
I mean, hey, don't go 0 for 9 in the paint.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
UCLA also is. I just don't think is that
I
good.
think they're mid.
I think they're so mid. I think Gonzaga wins this by 20 plus.
I do.
Moving on, not on the slides. Chase, spearheaded brother. You're the host of our Champions League segment. Get us kicked off with the
Tottenham got
results
a
that
big
happened
win
this week.
against. You
First off,
Spurs.
come
They
on, you
Tottenham hasn't played great in
Spurs.
the Premier League of late, but they get a big win. They're doing great in the Champions League right now. Really good. Really,
Yeah, saving all energy
really
for the
good in the
CL,
Champions
baby.
League. Shockingly good. Olympiacos gets a all right win. They should probably have won by more with the talent of that team. Bayern Munich was down in the 67th minute against Sporting and comes back and wins 3-1. Almost was a shocking result for Bayern Munich, who just lost their, I think it was 17-game unbeaten streak or something ridiculous to start the season. So a couple shocking results. And then AS Monaco beats Galatasaray. Shout out to our U.S. striker, Fuller and Balogun, getting the game-winning goal there. And then
Yes.
probably the biggest upset of the week, Atalanta beats Chelsea 2-1. Really a shocking result there. And then Barcelona rolls again. They're playing better week by week, and they are starting to look really, really good. And then Liverpool gets a massive win, kind of a cheap penalty at the end of the game over Inter. Liverpool hasn't looked great this year, obviously, but I mean, this was a really boring watch, quite honestly. But the Reds get it done and a big win for them. Atletico Madrid rolls against what's that say? PSV. And then Marseille gets a win. And shout out to Mason Greenwood, the former Manchester United player who has been balling. And then today, Ajax came back against Karabag. Ajax gets their first win in the Champions League, have been shocking for most of this year. Copenhagen, also another team that has been poor, gets a big win against Villarreal. Yep, that is a really big win for
Against
Copenhagen,
Villarreal,
who is not great. And Villarreal is a Spanish side that is pretty good. PSG, yeah, Huge draw.
Big draw for
Athletic
Athletic Club.
PSG has played great. Athletic, coming from Spain, that is a huge draw. And then Bayer Leverkusen, Newcastle. I mean, that's a good draw for Leverkusen. Newcastle probably wanted to take some more away from that game. And then Benfica getting the massive win over Napoli. Napoli's kind of massive upset. That's another big one.
Upset.
Napoli's kind of faltered over the last few weeks. And then Bodo Glimt, the Cinderella story from last year's Europa League, drew against Dortmund, which
drew.
Dortmund is not having a phenomenal season, but, it is what it is. It's still Borussia Dortmund. They should be able to beat Bodo Glimt. But I want to talk a little bit about Arsenal. Arsenal this year has been phenomenal in the Premier League. They're in first. They've basically clinched first or second place this year in the Champions League. And tonight they went with their it was their C lineup against Club Brugge and won 3-0. I mean, they are the hottest team in the world right now. They continue winning. Doesn't matter who they have in their team, they're still winning games. Juventus get a win against Pafos, who have been pretty solid. Big massive result. Manchester City beats Real Madrid. Real Madrid is struggling right now. They are dead in the water. I think it probably Vinicius Jr. A lot of people have been pointing to him, but I think it's just the inability to keep their defense healthy. I mean, it's poor. But looking at the table, I mean, no real surprises based on how everybody's gone. Man City has turned it on over the last couple of weeks, rising in that table. Arsenal, Bayern Munich still at the top. Arsenal, the only undefeated team left here. PSG right on their tails, but I think everybody can agree Arsenal, Bayern Munich, PSG have been the top three in this tables, followed by Atalanta, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid. Atletico's risen over the last couple weeks after being in a tricky spot a couple weeks ago, had a couple good results. Liverpool's sitting there at 9, just hanging in there. Same with Borussia Dortmund, Tottenham, Newcastle, and Chelsea. 3 English teams all grouped together. Chelsea has fallen pretty drastically over the last couple match days. Then we have Sporting and Barcelona, shocked down there at 15, but I do expect them to rise. Then we have Marseille, Juventus, Galatasaray. And then do you have the other slide? And then AS Monaco, Bayer Leverkusen, PSV, Karabag, Napoli, and Copenhagen rounding out the teams in the safe zone. And then we're looking at, Benfica's got to make something happen if they want to get things done. And I expect, like we talked about, Athletic Club as a team I could expect getting out of there. But Villarreal, shocking at the bottom. What's your question, man?
So I had a question. Yeah, I wanted you to pick one team in that bottom 8 or so. Bottom 12 that you think could get into at least the unseeded region and be able to play for the Champions League title. And one team that you think is currently safe that could fall out.
I'm probably looking at Karabag right now as a team to fall out. They had some decent results, but, I don't see them continuing this run of form. And then Benfica, I think they're the team that will easily get into the safe zone. They have too much talent to not be safe. I mean, Richard Rios is a phenomenal player, the Colombian international, and they have too much money, and there's no way they stay down there and amongst this other group of teams. But I do want to say Villarreal being there in 35th is shocking, especially being a team from a top 5 league, from Spain. So that is shocking.
100%. Yeah. The World Dart Championship is here. I told the boys to do their homework. If you haven't, Michael, unfortunately, is related to me and lives in the same house as me, so he knows all about the World Dart Championship. Luke, unfortunately, goes to the same beach trip as me, so he knows all about the World Dart Championship. Chase, yeah, I sent Michael enough reels for his homework to be done for him. Chase, I told you to do some homework, and you obviously did with your picks. I'm going to go ahead and preface this. I was going to put Michael Van Gerwen as my dark horse. I just think he was not dark enough of a horse to pick as a dark horse. MVG, if y'all didn't know this, he's my favorite dart thrower. So he is the best entrance. It's some daunting music to Seven Nation Army. They all chant his name to the beat. He's a 3-time world dart champion it's the world champion, Michael Van Gerwen. It's elite. I'll start off my champion this year. I hate Luke Littler. I think he is a snot-nosed punk. I like the thought of this double-chinned 19-year-old makes me want to punch him in the face. So, I watch darts religiously, unfortunately, for my autistic self. But I hate Luke Littler. Like, he is my Philadelphia Eagles of darts. Like, I couldn't, if Luke Littler somehow got bounced in the first round, I could not have been any more excited if Luke Littler gets bounced. I think Luke Humphreys is, he's been struggling with a neck injury. I think he's going to be able to bounce back, gotten a little healthy, a little bit of a break here. No one throws better on his doubles than Luke Humphreys. Yes, Luke Littler, very flashy in his finishes, but Luke Humphreys, very good on treble hits, 180s rated premium, very good on finishing on his doubles. So I like Luke Humphreys to actually get it done. Not to mention, he just has way more experience than Luke Littler and spent the most time out of this field at the world number one, other than my favorite darter, Michael Van Gerwen. My flop is Nathan Aspinall. I think Nathan Aspinall has been throwing very poor lately for being as, high up in the odds as he is. Yes, he has been top 6 in the world for at least the last 3 years and has consistently been in the Premier League, which is a very prestigious, thing to be a part of in the PDC. But I think Nathan Aspinall could be dumped even in the first round, if not the second round. I think he's going to be a major flop for any Ass fans out there. And then my dark horse, again, I would have picked Michael Van Gerwen if the darting world would not consider that a dark horse, so considering as a 3-time world champion, I'll let it slide for y'all. Weston Neisman has been playing very well in televised events lately. He has been really good on his checkouts, especially at 100 plus, which is crucial in tournaments like these, in these short formats where it's like best of 3 legs and then best of 3 sets, and within those, superseding those legs. So I think Weston Neisman could have a deep run in this World Dart Championship. He's a little bit of a threat, and I would love to see him and Luke Littler go at it, even more so than John Van Veen and Luke Littler, who do not like each other at all. Luke, did you do your homework? Let me hear your
I
analysis.
did a little bit. I went with John Van Veen. Strictly, I did see the thing that he did not like Littler. And secondly, I saw this thing. It's basically, if this is true, I hope Google AI did not lie to me. He's up and coming. He's a rising
Oh, yeah, no, he's very young.
star.
Yeah.
He's been playing his best darts as of late, and that's why I picked him as a champion. I think we're going to get a nice little shocker here. And then Luke Littler is going to be my flop. He might get to the finals, but if you have a 55% chance to win, I feel like in a solo sport.
Anything less than, I think, a finals appearance would 100% be a flop for Luke Littler.
Yes. So I think with a 55% chance to win, I think that's just that's too much not to win the whole thing, especially in a solo sport. And then I did not realize this was not a dark horse because I saw him at 20-1 odds. I had heard of him, and I saw he'd won it 3 times. So I'm like, 21 to odds. He's won it 3 times with Michael Van Gerwen. I listened to his walkout because I thought he was Stephen Bunting. That's who I thought he was first. I had to listen to the walkout. I was like, oh, that's not that guy.
Different personality.
Michael Van Gerwen is like the Darth Vader of darts. Like he is like the very stone cold, just very serious the entire time, very polarizing in terms of like darts fans. You either love Van Gerwen or you hate Van Gerwen.
I'm
on the love side.
I've only heard of 2 dart throwers ever, and those were the 2. So I can't really remember who was who, but that's my dark horse.
Stephen Bunting, I'm bulletproof.
Yeah.
I'm into you. Fire away. Fire away. Yeah, sorry.
Well,
Stace.
obviously, I'm going to go with who everybody hates in the dart world, but he has been uber consistent this year. Fire walkout.
Fire walkout.
He's
by
a
the way,
young
I'll give
gun.
it
I
to him.
mean, he gives me like Patrick Mahomes vibes when Patrick Mahomes is coming up. Obviously, coming off the championship last year, winning it all as the youngest to ever do it. So I think he's going to win again and just cement his status as one of the greats. And then for my flop, I'm going to go with Luke Humphreys. And the reason you gave for him to win is the reason I'm going to say he's not. Coming off that injury, I think the neck injury, I read about that. I think it's going to hinder him a little bit, even though he's back to, just not, how important being in rhythm and consistency is going to be going into a world championship. Don't think he's at that level. And then Michael Van Gerwen, I mean, I actually have seen his walkout many times. I mean, it is fire, one of the best walkouts in all sports. And then on top of the fact that, yes, he is a 3-time champion, but he has not been at his best the last. Exactly. So he's
No,
a
he has
dark
not been at
horse.
his prime. So I agree with he definitely has potential to be a
So-
dark horse.
I feel like, for somebody who doesn't watch a ton of darts, decent picks.
The Iceman?
Yeah.
No, that was a pick to win it. By the way, is Michael's flop. I think the Iceman is playing his best darts he has in years. But anyway, continue.
The only reason why I picked Bunting is he has the most aura.
No, this dude, have you ever seen the Bunting plushie?
No.
He made a stuffed animal of himself and sells it. It is, and I want a Bunting stuffed animal. If I was ever going to get another man as a stuffed animal, it is Stephen Bunting.
Be pretty
Well, I actually did a little research, and I think are the seeds that they are like what they're ranked in the world?
Yes,
So he's 4th in the world,
he is currently 4th in the world.
which I didn't think he was that high.
He has been playing very poor recently, but he had been dealing with
Injury.
like some sort of thumb injury or something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Well, I talked to him personally, and he said his thumb is good. So that's why he's going to dominate. And I mean, I don't know how you can beat the man when he comes out to that theme music. But
yeah.
honestly, for my flop, I just picked a guy that's really good that I just didn't think was going to win. So I picked Gerwin Price.
Gerwin Price been throwing so well recently.
So-
Too. Played well in the Players Championship. Played well in the World Series of Darts. I mean, anyway,
And then,
dude, Michael may miss. Michael may hit.
so I was just scrolling through the bracket. Once I saw this dude's name, I put him down because he's the goat of darts. So no one knows who this name is, but he is the guy who's the most viral darts clip of all time. When it's him against Gerwin,
Yeah, him and
Yes.
Van Gerwen in 2023, the 2022-2023 World Darts Championship final, through the best leg of darts ever.
I might go.
he's the guy with the mohawk going against Gerwin is Michael Smith. So that's why I picked him.
So the reason I didn't pick Michael Smith as dark horse, I almost did. Again, slightly also sick for darts. I follow him on Instagram. He's been dealing with an ankle injury to where the point he has like a stabilizing brace on.
Well, good thing we don't walk a lot in darts. So
But it throws off his bounce a little bit, though he hit a 180 in his video. So, and he
He's
played
okay.
well in the World Series of Darts. So,
I'm
Michael
also in a
Smith,
group chat with him and Bunting.
okay,
So
he's good.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look, if y'all actually listen to us, go watch these dudes' walkouts. They are all electric, and then go watch the 9-darter from Van Gerwen and Smith. This dude I work with, I have got him into this. He told me today when he walked in at 7:30. Guess what tomorrow is? And I go, I know what tomorrow is. And he goes, the World Dart Championship starts tomorrow. We will have it on in the pro shop. I was like, let's freaking go. Quick NBA Cup talk and championship picks. It's the NBA Cup. We really shouldn't care that much. Just thought it was something nice to cover with the NBA. The Thunder are obviously going to win. They've lost one game this year.
Yeah.
And
they beat the
Will,
Suns by 40, I think, tonight.
who did you have
As
picked?
a Suns fan, I'm very
There we
hurt by
go.
this. I changed my pick. I had
Yeah.
I had the Suns.
Thank
I was
you,
I was
Chase. Thank
So I was totally homing. I honestly kind of figured we were going to get this recorded before that game. However, by the time the game tipped off, it was over. So yeah, I'm going with the Thunder. They rolled my boys, and then the runner-up, I think it'll be the Magic. I think they'll take care of the Thunder. Luke, who you rolling with? The same.
Obviously, best team in the NBA. They legit have a good shot to beat the 73-9 Warriors record this year. And then I'm gonna roll with the Magic. I think they're end up beating the Knicks in the semis. The Magic have been rolling. Desmond Bane's finally playing like the player he's getting somewhat paid to be. That Magic team is going to be very good. The Knicks also are not shooting the three ball at such an efficient clip as they did last year. And it's same with their defense. Their defense is like, I don't think it's as good of a rating as last year. And I think the Magic have finally started picking up after their slow start in the beginning of the year. So
I wanted to pick
Chase.
the Magic so
LeBron.
bad, but I think the Knicks will get past them and will ultimately be the runner-up. And I'm going with the Lakers. LeBron's back, healthy. Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are the best 1-2 punch in the NBA right now on offense, without question. I love what I'm seeing out of the exciting whites. This Lakers team is actually really solid. And I think the Thunder are due for a loss, and they'll run into the Lakers. They'll lose to the Lakers, and then they'll win another 20 games without losing. So I think this Lakers team is going to get it done against the Thunder. They for whatever reason perform really well in the NBA Cup. So give me the Lakers.
Chase, think you may be getting a call. Michael.
Yeah, we think your phone's ringing, Chase. But yeah, Thunder obviously. I was actually wrong. Their only losses to the Trailblazers.
My God.
That Mavericks loss was preseason.
Okay.
So that's even worse. But
The Blazers got a few guys who can score those.
Straight the schedule.
so yeah. And then I just kind of guess wanted to be different than the Magic. I do think the Knicks are really solid. And the Knicks are like one of the most like regular season teams. They're very good in the regular season.
Yeah.
So
Regular season merchants.
yeah, they are regular season merchants. So I got them beating that. Who they're gonna play? They play the Magic. Yeah, they play the Magic. The semifinals are set.
Magic.
Yeah.
Orlando
I haven't beaten
Magic.
the Magic.
Whoa.
All right, Will, take over.
All right, guys, a little stick and puck talk for you. Atlantic Division has been interesting to say the least. I mean, we've got the former Stanley Cup champions at 6th play. Okay, Sharon Moore is in jail, so
Oh, no,
that's.
I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the Suns losing by 50.
I mean, no Devin Booker. Colin Gillespie didn't score in the first half. Anyway, the Tampa Bay Lightning have kind of returned to their peakness that they were in. Like that 23-20 run. 36 points to 30 games. Again, not necessarily like a lead, kind of one of the weaker divisions, but they're all kind of beating up on each other. My surprise team, and just keep this short and sweet, is the Boston Bruins. I did not think the Bruins would be good at all this year, and they truly have done well. Yes, struggling on the road, but they're winning at home, and that's truly what matters. I do think this is a little bit inflated because they are winning all of their overtime and shootout games, which, yes, is huge for playoff consideration. However, not having an OT loss yet is kind of insane for as many games as go to overtime. And not to mention they've only had 2 overtime wins at period. So I mean they're getting it done in regulation. Shout out to the Bruins. My surprise is not really a surprise. I thought the Florida Panthers would get off to a slow start. They are really banged up. Barkov out for the remainder of the year. Kachuk's not back. But what really surprised me is Bobrovsky isn't really playing great. I mean, they're at a -2 goal differential. So I think you're starting to sound some alarms for the Florida Panthers. Chase, I told you to do a little homework on
Well,
this. You
obviously, the
comment on
Florida
these
Panthers
teams?
is the one from this division I really wanted to talk about. I mean, obviously, missing Kachuk is really a big loss. And then I agree with you 100% about Bobrovsky. I mean, this was a guy who was dominant over the last couple of years, and then see them sitting there with a -2 goal differential. I don't think that continues. I think they will play a little bit better out down the stretch, but are we saying that maybe they can't make the playoffs now? I don't know. They're only 6 points back, which that can change in 2 weeks in the NHL. But giving up 90 goals for a goalkeeper of that caliber, it's shocking. And then the fact that they've only scored 88, I mean, that is definitely concerns on the offensive end too for the Panthers, but I do think they turn it around. The team I want to talk about is the Canadiens, sitting there with a -12 goal differential. A -12 goal differential.
Montreal.
And they have 15 wins. How is that possible? It's crazy.
I can tell you right now, this happens every year with the Montreal Canadiens. They start out super hot. I mean, super hot. And then they cool off. And they have gotten below.
That's what I've been noticing. Yeah, that they're getting smoked. But still to have 15 wins with a -12 goal differential, I mean, that is crazy.
It is crazy. I do think the Panthers may have some trouble getting the playoffs. This is a very crowded division. The Canadiens, I think, are going to make the playoffs. They have one of the best young cores in the NHL. I do think the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to make the playoffs. I think the Detroit Red Wings are playing well to make the playoffs. So, I mean, you've got room. Yes, you could have 2 wild cards out of this division, but with as crowded and, as many times as you play your own divisional opponents, don't know if that's going to be the case. I mean, you got the Ottawa Senators who were a playoff team last year. You got the 2-time defending Stanley Cup Cup champions, the Florida Panthers. And don't forget about the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs are perennially in the playoffs as either a 1 or 2 seed in this Atlantic Conference. Very crowded. I would expect Boston to cool off out of all these teams. I think they are not as good as their record shows. And then, as we all anticipated, the Buffalo Sabres, even though they beat my Edmonton Oilers last night and swept them in the series, they're absolute dog crap. Metro is kind of going how I expected. The only team I want to highlight, one surprising good, one surprising bad. The New York Islanders, I thought were not going to be good at all this year. However, a +3 goal differential, 37 points through 31 games. This Islanders team is playing very well. And what I like about this Islanders team is there's not really a drop-off from home to road games. They're consistently kind of mid on both, but slightly better on the road. And this Islanders team has been playing decent of late. Again, 5-4, 1 of the last 10, one-game win streak. But this is a team that's definitely surprising me. And a team that's surprising me for the worst is this 3-8-3 team at home. How are you 3-8-3 at home with the goaltender you have with Igor Shesterkin, with the core you have with JT Miller? The New York Rangers are an absolute disappointment who are currently getting blown out, lost by the Chicago Blackhawks. So, sound the alarm, Rangers. I don't think they make the playoffs.
I agree. I'm
Chase,
shocked
what do you
that
think
the
about the Metro?
Rangers with that roster are this low in the standings. I mean, I would sound the alarms, and especially that home record, because MSG has historically been a fortress for hockey fans. So, New York hockey fans at least. So I'd be shocked. I do think the Islanders will probably make the playoffs. Shockingly, it's weird because I would have had the two New York teams flipped. So, just
absolutely,
I'm honestly shocked about that. And then I would like to see the Penguins maybe push a little bit towards the top here, and I do think potentially they could jump the Islanders and Hurricanes, but we'll have to see down the stretch. But the Capitals, I think, pretty much win this division. I'm pretty confident in saying that right now. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but the Capitals are playing. Yeah, they're playing some really good hockey
28
right now.
goal differential. I mean, yeah, and this could potentially be Ovechkin's last year. I think this was going to be a really big push, especially with this Ryan core with Ryan Leonard. Yep, Ryan Leonard's been playing unbelievable for the Capitals. Goaltending's also with their two-headed monster in net has been unbelievable for the Caps. Let's move on to the Western Conference, to the Central. I want to pinpoint, honestly, a couple teams here. The Avalanche are dominant, 48 goal differential. This is obviously a very heavy cup favorite early in the season. They have not lost in regulation at home yet. They're 10-2 and 5 on the road. However, concerning 0-4 in the shootout, which is interesting, it really doesn't matter. But you know who they lost to last night in the shootout? The Nashville Predators. And this is a team that has kind of gotten hot. They were 0-5 in that last 10 you're looking at. They're 5-0 in the last 5 games. Or, excuse me, 4-1 in the last 5. This Nashville team, I think, may have taken a step to turn around and maybe fight for that wild card. Another team that surprised me about being so bad are the Winnipeg Jets. And honestly, yes, I thought the St. Louis Blues were going to have a drop-off this year, and they truly are. Connor Bennington is playing absolutely horrific, -30 goal differential. Don't think the Blues make the playoffs. Didn't think they were going to anyway. I think the Blackhawks are playing decent. Don't think they will make the playoffs either. I think they will fall off. But yet the Jets, sound the alarms if you're a Jets fan. I think this is a really poor start to the year, and I think there's reason to be concerned.
Well,
Chase, what do you think about the
I don't
Central?
know if you know this about me, but I am a Dallas Stars fan, so I've loved how the Stars have. Well, I love the Stars, and they're playing
Screw the Dallas Stars.
some really good hockey this year. Obviously not as good as the Avalanche. Avalanche, I do think, are the best team in the NHL. The shootouts, it doesn't matter if you go to a shootout because they're going to probably beat you in regulation. So, that's what's going to happen there. I was actually pretty shocked to see how far off the Blues have fallen, but their goaltender has just been absolutely atrocious. And then on top, 109 goals against. Is that the most in the league, or it's up there? I think I saw that earlier.
I believe
most
it
in the
is.
league. So yes,
My
they
Edmonton
could,
Oilers
but
couldn't rival it.
Blues have fallen off significantly. But I really think this is a 2-horse race in this division, and probably, I'd say these two are up there for best 2 teams in the Western Conference. But for sure, Colorado. I love what I've seen out of Colorado this year.
100%. Moving on to our last division, the Pacific. I'll touch on my team for a second. Yeah, we have 106 goals allowed, which is absolutely atrocious. Our goaltending has been terrible. It is time to move on from Calvin Pickard. He does not need to be the backup goalie for the Edmonton Oilers anymore. We need to, bring back Connor Ingram to the NHL level. Acquired him in a trade. He had some, mental health issues. He went to rehab. Is in the AHL, doing okay in the AHL, but we need to bring him back to at least be the backup goalie. Need to make a trade for a goalie at the deadline. I actually would like to see the Oilers go after either UC Saros or Connor Bennington. I think Connor Bennington may be just a result of bad defense for St. Louis, kind of leaving him in vulnerable spots. Not to mention, I mean, we have had some bad defense ourselves. Evan Bouchard turning the ball, puck over in our own zone in overtime to lose against the Buffalo Sabres has been atrocious. However, if you're an Oilers fan like I am, you are very accustomed with this picture. We start the year off horribly every year. I mean, this is the last 4 years we have started off atrocious. I am not worried about our playoff hopes like a lot of fans are. However, we do need to get it going at some point. But with McDavid and Draisaitl, the two best forwards in the league, I have no issue thinking that may continue. As well as, I mean, we're kind of banged up. Just got Zach Hyman back. Just got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back. And not to mention, a little bit of a firecracker for us that just got hurt is Jack Roslovic. And Jack Roslovic was a big addition for $1.8 million just for 1 year. I think we'll extend him 100%. He wants to be a part in this winning team. I think we're going to return to the winning taste, and I actually think we end up winning the Pacific. Considering, two surprises for me on the opposite ends here. 1-3 actually.
I was about to say the
Anaheim
Ducks
are playing unbelievable hockey. I actually saw this.
They've been a historically bottom feeder in the Western Conference, and they're having a phenomenal year. But you can continue.
Yeah, they have this young core that I kind of saw this coming 2 or 3 years ago, and I even had them in my playoffs for this year's prediction. They're just going way better than I thought, and I think that's partially because of the Oilers and Kings struggles early in the year. I didn't think the Kings would be very good this year. I want to touch on the Sharks. I think they're going to be competitive in this wild card race. I think this is a young core, especially led by Macklin Celebrini, that's going to be, and Askarov in goal. Dealt to the Predators, to the Sharks. He's been unbelievable for San Jose. Yeah, negative 16 goal differential. You're pretty still weak on defense. However, I think enough goal scoring may get San Jose into the wild card race. And then the Vancouver Canucks. This is a team that has fallen off so hard from 2 years ago that hosted a playoff round. Vancouver has been absolutely atrocious, continually banged up, drama in the locker room. Thatcher Demko has been absolutely awful for Vancouver, even though he can't even stay healthy. A lot of concern if I'm a Canucks fan. 2-7-1 in our last 10 games if you're a Canuck. I mean, Vancouver might as well wrap it up and try to get a draft pick at this time. And as I expected, the Kraken and the Calgary Flames are going to be kind of bottom feeders in the Pacific this year. But, man, the Canucks really have a lot of issues to address. I think this is mostly for a top of the division. It has become a four-horse race. I do think the Oilers win it overall, but I think the Ducks and the Golden Knights will kind of be fighting for that second spot to get home, ice advantage against each other. And I do think the LA Kings fall off a little bit. I think they're a little bit too hot right now in terms of the beginning of their season, especially because 4-6-3 at home, but they have been really playing killer away from home ice at 10-2-4 on the road. I think that tailors off as the season moves on. Again, we're super early in the regular season. I have faith in my Oilers to get it done, but a change at goaltender needs to happen. Chase, what do you think of that?
Obviously,
about the Pacific?
The Oilers, historically poor starters. They have the best player in all of hockey. And then, it's a good roster. Like you said, getting back to health is going to be key for the Oilers. I do want to touch on the Ducks and the Knights, though. I do think this Anaheim Ducks team is for real. A lot of people, because it's so early in the season, maybe not completely sold on the Ducks. I think this Ducks team is for real. And it's kind of nice to have a good Anaheim hockey team again. I love that the Ducks are back. And then Vegas Golden Knights, I think they're still really good this year, and I think they will push for the top of this division, but I just think Edmonton has too much. Connor McDavid's too good. They're going to win a lot of hockey games down the stretch and hopefully get hot at the right time and maybe get over the hump this season. I know for you, Will, I'm hoping for that. They've been so close over the last couple of years, so I would love – it's y'all's leader. And I mean, if y'all
it's our year.
Look at it,
we're so
I
due.
feel like NHL mirrors the MLB and NBA a lot just because of how long the regular seasons are. The teams that are the hottest going into the playoffs usually win it all. And so I hope Edmonton starts playing really good hockey heading in, to April and May there. So I'm hoping that, for your sake, the Oilers get it done.
Absolutely. As we end every weekday episode, and this was a long one. Hot and not. My hot's old guys. Dude, Phillip Rivers and this edits of Phillip Rivers and hype videos have got me feeling all sorts of ways about this 44-year-old coming back to potentially quarterback the Colts this week against the Seahawks. Man, why'd you hang him up, Tom Brady? Makes you wonder. This dude's trying to have y'all seen this reel or TikTok? So this dude was like, like Tom Brady, and he was talking, the Patriots helmet was talking to him. He's trying to steal your legacy, Tom. He's trying to steal your legacy. Yeah, and he will. Phillip Rivers going to lead the Colts to the playoffs. My not is indirectly affected by this Sharon Ward business. Our former head coach at Troy, Chip Lindsey. If y'all don't know about Chip Lindsey, when he was at Troy, he did sleep with one of our cheerleaders, which
Game is game.
Game is game, 100%. But that caused public backlash in our little town of Troy, who literally, metaphorically, chased him out with pitchforks and flames. He is the offensive coordinator of Chip, Michigan, of course. Now that all this has come to light about Sharon Moore, a lot of Chip Lindsey memes are finding around there. Absolutely my not. I'm so sorry that you are reliving this all over again because of your boss, Chip Lindsey. Luke, I have to hear. Actually, we're going to save you for last.
Okay.
Michael, what's your hot not?
Yeah, so my hot, I got two pretty basic ones. My hot is definitely being on Christmas break. One of the best times to come back home, celebrate the holidays, hang out with family, friends. Also, you get really good sports, and it's just a vibes thing, to be honest. It's good to be back home. My not, it's pretty basic. My physics exam yesterday was not fun. It was pretty terrible, not gonna lie. But yeah, I was in there for the whole 3 hours. It was not fun.
Chase, hot not. And I wholeheartely agree
Well,
with
my
your
hot
both of
Baltimore Orioles get a massive signing with Pete Alonso. What are the Mets doing? But huge for the Orioles. I
No
know
clue.
a lot. Polar Bear Pete. I know he's.
Have you seen Frank the Tank
I'm
videos?
concerned for his health. I think Frank the Tank friends checking on him. He is not doing well right now. But this is a massive signing for the Orioles, and honestly, I'm shocked at the low number because we've seen some massive contracts go out over the last couple of years. Only on, I think it was like adjusted AAV. I think it was only 31, which is not that high for this caliber of player. Pete Alonso is really a good baseball player. Kind of underrated though. I know he's getting up there in age, but still massive for the Orioles. And then Real Madrid. There is so much drama going around this soccer team right now. I mean, the fans are already saying they want Xabi Alonso out as head coach, and it's been 4 months. They're second place in the league. I think it's a little too soon for that, but they've got to figure something out. The defense has to get better. The stars have to start getting in line. They have so many big time players on the team. They shouldn't be losing the way that they are right now. So, Real Madrid is not hot this week.
Luke, you're hot and not.
So my hot, FACS has an 8th grader on their
Okay.
varsity team. He dropped 20 against Los Angeles, the 8th best team in the city. He had 15 in the first half. He was draining threes over like these junior kids in high school. It was actually an amazing mixtape to watch.
I saw this mixtape.
Now my not.
Oh. This could be not of the year.
Literally have one job. Because like, obviously, I think outside of most SEC jobs, this is probably in the upper echelon of head football coaching positions of the last, I'd say, 10 years. I wouldn't say that 20 years before that, but in the last 10 years, the Michigan's built up. And, we improved from last year. We went 7-5 last year, I think, and he improved. We went 9-3 this year. And then you got to sleep with some stupid, very average recruiter person, and then you're going to go to her house, pay for her abortion, by the way. Then you're going to break into her house and try and threaten her life if she tells anybody. You're an idiot. You're literally 39 years old,
With
and you're
3
a head
kids, by
coach
the
of a
way.
college football team. that's insane too. You have a wife with 3 kids. Like it amazes me the retardism of this man. And like I'm worried because I don't know how many people are going to leave. And second off, I don't know we're going to hire. It's so late. You thought Penn State was for.
Could you, in fact, be feeling nicey?
I could. I don't know. I honestly think Michigan's literally just going to roll with Biff and move on to next year. But I could be wrong. I've seen a bunch of DeBoer stuff. Jeff Fisher, I know, is like the only legit candidate in my eyes just because he hates Seattle, Washington, which who doesn't? But still, you're going to, he's in, Sharon Moore is literally sitting in jail right now. He officially got arrested. He was only detained. He officially got arrested today. I mean, it just the idiot. I thought I was getting sentinel when I got home from work. I was like, there's no way they fired Sharon Moore. Then we got Bill Clinton over here sleeping with his intern. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah. I also didn't think that was real at first.
I saw the Bill Clinton meme first, actually. That's the first thing that popped up on my timeline. I got off work and I'm like, what is going on? And it's a picture of Bill Clinton on Sharon Moore's face. I mean, it's... Oh, man, I feel it's a bad day to be a Wolverine fan.
It is. And I could rant about this for 30 minutes, but I need to shower. I need to do homework. And we need to end this episode.
But my God, I can't believe that happened today.
Well,
no. Chill. That concludes episode 29 of Swiss Army Sports. This has been Will Spann, Luke Wallman, Michael Spann, and Chase Cross. Tune in Sunday. We've got our full slate pickups to look forward to. Another Mount Rushmore and more of interesting sports topics. I love this episode. Great job, guys. Until next time.
All right.